everybody, and welcome to our workshop From Feedback to Action Using AI to Supercharge Customer Support. I'm Maya, founding engineer at 14AI.
Hi, I'm Marie, co-founder here at 14AI.
Great to meet you all. My name is Alyona, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Thematic.
So welcome to our workshop where you'll learn practical approaches to turning raw customer feedback into insights your team can act on. And before we start with our agenda and the rest of the workshop, feel free to share in the chat where you're calling from and also your favorite sport.
Great. Alyona, where are you calling from today and what's your favorite sport?
I'm calling from New Zealand, and my favorite sport is probably dancing, if you would call it sport. My Apple Watch definitely has a social dancing setting that I turn on sometimes.
Great. And what kind of dancing is your favorite?
Just any kind of electronic music dancing rather than couple or group dancing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. And you, Maya, what's your favorite sport and where are you calling from today with me?
I'm in San Francisco, and I'll say my favorite sport is running.
Great.
That's my least favorite sport. Marie, what about you?
I love going to Barry's boot camp, which is a mix of weights and running. And it's like in a dark room with lots of music and a teacher yelling at you. So yeah, that's my kind of favorite sport right now.
That sounds fun.
Actually, I organized the YC Founders Barry's boot camp a few weeks ago. So hopefully next time you are in town, we can go together.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So we're going to start with today's agenda. So we're going to first have the chance to meet Alyona and also learn about her work at Thematic. And then we're going to transition into a live Q&A where it's going to be an interactive discussion covering real-world applications of AI-driven feedback analysis. And we're going to be answering your questions about turning customer insights into action. Mm-hmm. So first, I'd like to introduce Alyona. So she's the co-founder and CEO of Thematic. So this was a YC company. She built the leading AI-powered feedback analysis platform trusted by LinkedIn, Atlassian, and DoorDash to make sense of customer feedback at scale. And she's also an AI researcher and author, holding a PhD in artificial intelligence with work cited by 3,500 plus researchers worldwide. Alyona, if you'd like to say something as well.
Sure. Well, I'm really happy to be here. I've been in the AI space since before it became cool, and it's been amazing seeing the transition and how we work has changed and what we can do using AI technology in the area of customer experience, customer support, customer feedback has changed dramatically in the past 2 years. So yeah, great to be here and happy to share whatever I can.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. And we'd like to also introduce Thematic. So Thematic helps companies turn raw customer feedback into actionable insights by using AI to centralize, analyze, and uncover trends across every channel. And Alyona, feel free to say a little bit about Thematic as well.
Yeah, so our solution is primarily built for large companies with at least 500 employees. They tend to be more in the B2C space and have really complex kind of a mixture of digital and personal experience. And our main users are customer insights professionals, customer experience analysts, researchers. And it's their role then in those organizations to distribute insights to other teams, and our mission is to make sure that every voice can reach every decision maker.
Thank you. It's great to learn about it, and we're excited to learn more in the Q&A as well.
Yeah. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat during the session. So our first question for you is, you founded the company to help companies make sense of customer feedback at scale. Can you share what led you to start this YC company and what gaps you saw that pushed you to build it?
Yeah. So I was running a small AI group of kind of enthusiasts in my city, and people knew that this is my expertise, and 3 different companies reached out at the same time and said that they need to understand what drives their net promoter score. And I'm sure I don't need to explain, NPS is a big metric for companies. It's actually reported at board levels for large companies, and something that people are compensated on, so they're motivated to increase it. And when people gather this data, there's always the numeric one: would you recommend us to your friends and family? And then there's the text field: why did you give us the score? So those companies who reached out to me, they thought, could AI help them digest this and understand what are the drivers, what are the most common reasons of that will help them fix or increase their NPS? So this is how the company started. Initially, it was a very rough prototype that I wrote and a PowerPoint deck, but it did deliver the necessary insights. And I'm just helping companies understand metrics, whether it's NPS or other metrics, continues to be our core value proposition. So we bring the qualitative and the quantitative together and visualize it very clearly and explain it using AI so that companies can prioritize their improvements better.
Thank you for sharing. And how was your YC experience?
It was amazing. I wish I could go back, but yeah, as you know, it's just crazy to be surrounded by people who are all building something interesting, are really smart, want to do the good thing in the world, and we definitely missed it once it's finished.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Thank you. So our next question is about centralizing feedback at scale. So for large organizations managing millions of customer interactions, what are some of the biggest challenges in centralizing and making sense of feedback across diverse support channels?
It continues to be unifying and connecting this data. It continues to be a challenge, and there are many different reasons why. So number one is the fact that the feedback lives in many different systems. So you will have your survey platform, and you will have your support channel, and you have your social media and your inbound complaints, so in-app feedback. And when reporting is done, typically it's done using just the survey data. So you only restrict yourself to a small group of people who like to fill out surveys. And as a result, you don't have a representative view of what customers want. And, YC is all about what do people want? We need to understand it. So the second challenge is the fact that every single tool is managed by a different team. And so there's a lot of data privacy, and the data is siloed. And the third one would be around how do you actually bring it together? Because every single channel will have its peculiarity. So for example, support tends to be a lot of data, and they're all complaints. And then reviews, Google reviews tend to be, lots of 5-star reviews, maybe 3 or 4 are negative. So how do you build this into a picture, and how do you make it available to different teams who can actually do something about it?
Thank you. And now, how do global enterprises use AI-powered feedback analysis to maintain consistency in customer support quality among different regions, languages, or business units?
Yeah, so definitely metrics are used to understand how well the support is doing. Often in a call center, they will have something that's called transactional NPS or CSAT or customer effort score. So whatever the metric is used, the traditional way of understanding the metric is to, after a support interaction, you message the customer and you ask them, how was your interaction? Was it thumbs up, thumbs down, or give it a 5-star rating? And then you're trying to basically understand, okay, what are all of the support requests that are linked to high score or to low scores. And things are changing now, so you don't have to, well, first of all, hardly anybody rates their support experience. The response rate is really low. And in order to understand what it was like for the users, you can automatically, and this is something that we do at Thematic, we can tell you whether was the conversation resolved, what was the effort for the customer, how you can rate it. So using synthetic data, synthetic ratings and scores, you can actually score every single conversation and then understand what's driving a positive or a negative. And so interestingly, when we work with large companies, a lot of the time they're saying, oh, our people aren't great. Our support people are, they don't know enough, they're rude, or customer service, right? Or they don't speak the language and they have accents. But what we see as a trend across all of our customers is that often the support team, the people who work in support and customer service are incredible. They are knowledgeable, they're professional, they're polite, they want to help. And all of the other issues that are going wrong are preventing them from delivering a great experience to customers.
Thank you.
So our next question is about breaking down silos. So what are some best practices for breaking down data silos between support, product, and marketing teams in large organizations so that valuable customer insights don't get lost?
So number one is to align everybody on the same mission and on the fact that customer is the most important thing in a company. And doing the right thing by the customer is what every team should be all about. And in terms of creating this alignment, what's important is that everybody agrees on the technology used to understand customer feedback. And in particularly a large organization, what can happen is you can have this one person who is talking to customer in the field and hears the loudest customer and says that's what's important for the customer. Another person who is looking at reviews or has interviews, or they have a different picture, they might put it into ChatGPT or Gemini and have their little insights come. And so you have all of these kind of siloed views of what's important for the customer base. And so it's really important to agree, we use this particular technology to bring it all together. Ideally, you want to centralize it in a data warehouse like Snowflake or any other database that you might have, and then automate the reporting and make it transparent and accessible to everybody. So we've seen what really works well is something called a newsroom approach, where teams are actually customer insights team often leads that, where they're basically showing how they've used their system to find an insight. The team has acted on it, and here's the outcome, ideally financial outcome that resulted from that. And that creates almost like a cycle of positive reinforcement. So if you act on customer feedback, good things will come. And so it's brings people together and breaks down silos.
Thank you. Now, driving company-wide improvements. Can you share some examples on how large companies have leveraged customer feedback to drive organization-wide process improvements?
So many stories in our field. Every day, companies use Thematic to find organizational wide processes, and we use this idea of impact to decide kind of what to prioritize on. So let's say you have your NPS or whatever metric that is. And then you have people complaining, let's say, about billing or issues with credit cards. We basically calculate that if you were to fix this issue and nobody would ever mention this again in your support, your NPS would increase. So by this much. So by knowing this, you can decide which processes to improve. And then another thing that companies do is they basically compare two regions. So one of our customers is a last mile delivery company, and they started in San Francisco. But when they moved to, let's say, Chicago, the city is different, people are different. They would compare the two regions to find differences in processes that need to happen. Perhaps they need, since it's a last mile delivery in a marketplace, perhaps they need many more delivery people rather than and less merchants, or they need to change how things are messaged to customers and to manage their expectations and when the food will get delivered. When they expanded into a different country, they noticed that the credit cards wouldn't get accepted by users, so they need to change that process. And as they do it, they're always looking at trends. So how was it received? How was this particular process perceived by customers before and after? And often, sometimes it takes 7 tries to fix a process, right? And you try one thing and then another thing. So it's not a done and dusted kind of job. You need everybody aligned on not just doing something, but also measuring, was it effective? And you need to quantify how in customer feedback people talk about this, so that it's not anecdotes, it's not opinions, but it's real data that backs up the insights.
Thank you.
So our next question is about insights to action. So with so many stakeholders across an enterprise, how do you ensure that insights generated from customer feedback lead to actionable change rather than just reporting or dashboards?
I'm just going to share something that one of our customers does, and it works really well, and it works for small and medium-sized and large companies. And it's something really simple. The report is created in a shareable doc, the monthly report, and they just tag people. Hey, this is your area. What have you done about this? And I've done it in our company as well. And the goal is to get back to people who left that feedback, close the loop with them. So it's called this way. And until something is done, we can't close the loop with people who left the feedback. So it doesn't create. So it's critical to act so that it creates this trust, brand building, and incentive for customers to give feedback again next time.
I love it. I love how simple and efficient it is as well.
Yeah, and in an enterprise, you just tag whoever is, in charge of that unit.
Yeah. Great. We have a question from the audience. Maya, if you want to read.
How relevant do you think classical support metrics like CSAT and NPS are in an AI-first world? More generally, do you see us moving from quantitative metrics to more qualitative assessments?
I think it's a great question, and we're definitely asking ourselves this right now. People change very, very slowly, so we are going to continue to see NPS and CSAT for a very long time. And I also don't think that metrics go away. You need metrics. However, in the AI world, your metric can be much more personalized to your company. So instead of having an NPS, let's say if you're a social media company, your metric could be how engaging is your content. because that's what keeps people on the platform. In whatever your company's mission is, that can become your metric. And using AI, using generative AI, you can basically derive that from every customer conversation, every customer interaction. Is it supporting your metric, or is it dragging it down? And then the next step is what's driving it. So you still need to convert all of the qualitative data into quantitative.
Great. Thank you so much. And that wraps up our Q&A section. Thank you so much, Alyona, for your insights. Yeah, super interesting to hear. So looking ahead, today's workshop, we learned from Alyona about her journey building an AI-powered customer feedback solution, and she shared different strategies from centralizing input across channels, avoiding silos, and turning raw feedback into insights that drive real change. And stay tuned for our workshop next Wednesday at 9 a.m. PT. Context is king, building grounded AI support agents. And we're going to dive into how support teams can keep AI agents accurate and reliable by grounding them in the right context. So if you found today helpful, you'll definitely want to join us next week. And you're going to see the link in the chat as well. And of course, once again, thank you so much, Alyona, for your insights, for sharing all your experience with us. If anybody else wants to ask any questions right now, you can ask them in the chat. We'll stick around for answering those. And also stay tuned for our blog recap. We're going to share a blog post summarizing all of Alyona's wonderful insights on using AI to turn feedback into faster, smarter support. And of course, reach out if you have questions or feedback about today's session. Contact us at these two emails here, Alyona@getthematic.com and team@14AI. And once again, thank you so much, Alyona, and thank you to our audience for joining our workshop today. And we hope to see you next week.
Thank you, Alyona.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.